Good morning, afternoon, and evening. Welcome back to the Liberal Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Bodio, and with me I have Kaylie Horowitz.
Hello.
And Andy Gibby Gibson.
I've known about this play for 15 years, and I still can't spell this shit correctly. Fuck you, Homer.
Don't.
Oh, I was like, play? What? Are we just jumping in? Fuck it.
Poem.
It's definitely a poem.
Do we need to?
I don't give a fuck.
Stall
It's hard to
for
spell.
time. Do we
No.
need to drag this out any farther?
Gibby just started it, so we're going in. Y'all probably heard about it for the last 2 weeks. It's the fucking Odyssey, baby.
It's a 3-hour movie. We don't have time to chit-chat.
A 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. Just sit right back, let me tell you a tale.
No Gilligan's Island.
What? Gilligan's Island
It might
Odyssey
as well
would be perfect. Come on.
I would have enjoyed that, actually. No, I broke my rule. I have a sine curve. Cosine curve, sine curve.
Sine, cosine, cosine, sine. Keep the sign.
You good? You got
Cosine,
that out?
cosine, sine, change the sign.
You can tell that she had to go at an airport for a very long time.
She's been on an Odyssey today.
That was how a math teacher was like, here's a device that's going to help you to remember what to do with these for exams. And it was literally just chanting it. It wasn't even like a clever device. And two, yes, I may have gone through my own Odyssey for several hours that may or may not have involved delayed flights, storms right above our house, and a plane that needed to be welded on the tarmac. And then they went, actually, no, we're going to get you a different plane. Go to a whole new terminal. Have fun on the plane train. Again.
You didn't even get to have sex with the witch after. That's crazy.
I know.
But no.
But I did get Annie Ann's pretzels, so that counts.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I have a sine curve in my willingness to see a movie versus how long it is.
Yeah.
And the peak of the curve is about an hour 45.
Yeah, that's a good length.
This movie's a lot longer than an hour 45.
Double it and give it to the next person.
I also did the not as pretentious as I could have situation, but still pretty pretentious movie person thing. I went and saw it in IMAX.
Okay, LA boy. Okay. How many fucking IMAX theaters do y'all have down there? Hoo-doo-doo.
Like too many.
Yeah.
But there's only like there's like maybe 3 IMAX 70 millimeter. It's not fucking important. It doesn't add anything. There, I said it.
I went to the cinephile experience because I went to a dead mall where the only functioning restaurant's a Sbarro.
Ugh.
Amazing.
Died a little bit.
Of all places to have, thank God, honestly, it's a Sbarro.
And everybody in the theater was on their phone.
That's not fun.
Oh.
And I couldn't say anything because somehow I was in the land of the giants. And the guy right next to me looked like he could eat me in one bite. And I was just like, I'll be fine, actually.
So that when you're like the odd man out, it's hard to tell everybody to be cool.
Yeah.
But no, Homer's / now Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, the first of, I guess, third of like 5 summer blockbusters coming out this year if you count children's movies.
Yeah.
Because there's like Minions, Toy Story, Odyssey, Dune. Dune's in winter, isn't it?
Yes, I think that's a November
I thought
release.
it was fall, but yeah.
Yeah,
winter.
yeah. So,
But
correction.
yeah, Spider-Man is going to be end of
Spider-Man's
July.
the next one. Yeah.
Doomsday is like a week before Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes. But hey, even if it's Minions, I'll take the higher than expected box office numbers, like the clear sign that people are actually going to movies.
Cinema's back, baby.
We're so fucking back.
For better or for worse.
To build on that bit, but actually be serious for a sec, in a similar mythological diversion, Hades Town's Pro Shot has made over $10 million so far.
It is the highest grossing theatrical, like filmed release, blowing past Hamilton. So there's places that are extending its run.
Let's fucking
God
go,
bless
lads.
Hades Town. God, I love that show.
God, I love that show.
It's hot Greek summer. I think I've made this joke before in a different episode, but it's the like Hades Town is out right now in theaters. Odyssey's out right now in theaters. There's a lot of theaters regionally that are doing a one-woman show called Penelope that is a musical, like solo show of, what she's doing the whole time waiting for Odysseus. Girl on an Altar just had its North American premiere at Irish Classical, which is Clytemnestra and Agamemnon. And, in lurking in the background online in many fandom-y spaces is Epic the Musical. So yeah, we're just very back
Super
to
Greek.
basics with like, it's Greek mythology time, baby.
Big fat Greek summer.
There was a new season of Percy Jackson that dropped earlier. Like, it's a little out of the timeline right now, but it's close enough. It counts.
Yeah, people are looking for the song of the summer. It's like, you need the epic of the summer. Anyway.
Song of the summer. I think you mean the Man of Sorrow. A man of constant sorrow.
It's a reference.
That was too highbrow. That was too highbrow
Wow,
for me.
brother,
Brother,
where art thou? Come on.
Yeah. Okay. We are there. Wait, what does that? I love that. I love that song. I don't know how it applies, and I don't want to get into it because we have to talk about this movie eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, brother, where art thou? Which Greek myth is that based on?
Oh, the Odyssey. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, Gibby. The one that the episode is titled.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that, and I like that movie.
Well, there you go.
We'll go watch it sometime. That's a good time.
Yeah, we'll come.
I love that
Tell
movie.
us if you want us to talk about that one, because I'd love to talk about that one. Anyways, the other Odyssey.
That movie, that soundtrack. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the Chris Nolan version.
Mm-hmm.
This movie's tough for me. So I have to say this off from rip. I like this movie.
Okay.
I think it's very
Shocking.
good. I think it's good. Shocking.
Controversial.
Surprising everybody. Man in America likes Christopher Nolan movie. Surprise.
Man between the age of 25 and 40 enjoys Christopher Nolan. Who could believe?
Who would have guessed? However,
Yeah.
I think the movie is kind of uninteresting in a way that makes it very difficult to talk about the movie itself.
Sure.
Obviously, I've been talking a lot about this movie in like personal life,
Sure.
off pod. I haven't had the opportunity to speak with either of you about it yet, which is why I'm excited that we're doing this.
Yeah.
But for me, I have a hard time speaking about the movie itself because I'm like, yeah, it was good. So most of my commentary about the movie is the choices they made, and kind of how it separates itself from the original text.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I say all of that is because I am usually blind to discourse.
Tiresias, is that you?
I and the discourse, or some of the discourse I've seen about this movie, is how it's quote unquote not historically accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is gonna
Y'all's
go in a
myth.
bad way, isn't it?
Y'all, it's a fucking myth. The shit didn't happen.
No!
Gasp,
Peloponnesian headcanon, no!
Right. So any idea of quote unquote it's not historically accurate is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time, and you're looking for shit to be mad about. That
Yes.
said, I will speak about how it is different from the quote unquote source material, whatever.
Well, and I will add to this note of source material as well, is that Nolan is using a newer translation by Professor Emily Wilson. This is the first I believe first female penned translation or feminist lensed translation of
Sure.
the
Cool.
Odyssey. So already fucking props for Nolan in my book for picking this one instead of fuck ass Fitzgerald that gets used all the time.
Oh man, that's the one I read as a kid.
Yeah, no, and that is the one that is in every American curriculum.
Mhm.
And again, I'm taking some of this from Ian, who grew up in a household of my father teaches classics, so Ian was reading the Odyssey in
At,
second
9.
grade.
Yeah.
So
It explains a lot.
yeah, but Fitzgerald's version isn't even one of it's a version that gets the story across, but there's a
Yeah.
debate in the nitty-gritty amongst scholars of but how well is it translating Homer? Whereas Wilson is now in this position of going, hey, not like recontextualizing, like changing narrative, but recontextualizing as in just what is the language doing? Like, we're not trying to grandiose a story here per se, but what is the language meaning and suggesting in terms that we, in a contemporary sense, can understand without putting on airs, without like exaggerating things that weren't already being poeticized? What is happening and where is the meaning in the relationships or the descriptions?
I have two things to say, then I'm going to let Gibby get some words in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Number one, this feels a lot like me sitting in church and debating with people what version of the Bible you should be reading.
True. And I don't even know all the nuances between other, translations and iterations prior. Yeah. I just know that there's this beef that has been brewing ever since she published this version a couple years ago.
Second, my buddy, actually right before we got on the pod a few hours ago, my buddy shared with me, I believe Dr. Wilson's, she is a doctor, I assume.
I believe so. She's at a university. She's at Pittsburgh, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My buddy shared me her review of the movie.
Yes.
And she is, and I say this with the utmost respect, she is so fucking pretentious and so up her own ass about it. I got 3 paragraphs deep and I was like, I can't do this. Yeah. I cannot do this.
She's a professor in classics. It's a little hard to not be.
It's immediate fuck off energy from that lady. I'm sure she's cool. Dr. Wilson, if you want to come on the pod, let's talk. I have a ton to learn from you. Fuck off with that.
Homegirl is getting copies of her book purchased now because people are going to read her translation now that they've seen the movie and they know that's the one that the script is based on. I'm like, yes, go get that bag in academia. People are buying your book. There is no higher compliment.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
Gibby, initial thoughts before we get into like deep discussion.
There's a lot with the modernization of this story that I find really interesting because there's some elements of it that feel so distant, such as taking a bag full of puppies and throwing one by one
that was
like
awesome.
off the cliff.
That was awesome in the worst way.
Can I just say that took me so immediately out of things? Ian and I started laughing and we were the only ones in the theater laughing at that. But I'm like, Chris, this is so jarring. And I get there's a shock value, but it's like I can only process it by laughing. What the fuck was that cut, my dude?
There were like 3 different scenes that I found comical, and I was the only person laughing.
Oh, there were more that I found comical, and I'll come back to those. But what's the other point, Gibby?
We'll get to it. Keep going, Gibby.
But there's some updates that they make to it that I think make it easier to connect with for a modern audience and everything. That
they put Darth Vader in it.
Well, I'm thinking more about the lines of like, hey, maybe Odysseus doesn't cheat on Penelope along the way. That'd be kind of cool if he didn't do that. That's kind of nice. But also, like, the interweaving of, like, actual history about, like, the Bronze Age collapse and everything. I'm sure I'll go on a tangent about that later.
As we should.
I find that incredibly interesting and, like, a really cool take on it. So there's a lot of it where you go, oh shit, I remember that from high school lit. And then there's a lot of it that you go, this is different, and it mostly works. Curious.
I want to talk about the movie itself before we talk about the story.
Yeah.
Just because that's the least I have to say.
Sure.
I think kind of objectively, I think this is Nolan's prettiest movie.
Yeah.
Personally, I didn't see Oppenheimer. I saw Interstellar, which is still good.
Yeah.
There's a handful of scenes. There's one scene in particular, the last scene with the crewmen, when they're in the thunderstorm and everybody's dying and we just see the flashes. Bro, don't watch that shit in IMAX. I couldn't see shit.
I was about to say, that's all I was thinking about watching that was just like, God, if you're watching this in IMAX, is anybody having a stroke right now?
I thought I was going to die.
Like,
it's kind of like, what do you find prettier, space or the sea? That's where you
yeah,
make your
that's a fair
decision.
comparison.
That's a
Because I
fair
think
compar-
Interstellar
yeah.
always gets the like, oh, it's so gorgeous because it's space, but then
Yeah.
it's that like you get these beautiful cliffside shots or these oceanic views.
Yeah.
Like I think that's the sort of
Shit made me
more-
want to go to Greece.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think let's this is a double thought. This is a double thought. Because again, 2 thoughts.
For the price of
Whoa.
one.
I think
Bogo.
all of the performances were done very well.
Mhm.
I can't remember his name. Something Patel. I'm so very sorry. If somebody could pull up the IMDb for me. He played Odysseus' first mate.
Yes.
I've never seen him in anything before. That guy
Yeah.
was fucking
I've got
awesome.
him. Himesh Patel.
Himesh
played,
Patel. Thank you.
Eurylochus. I'm
Yeah.
gonna fuck
Yeah.
up a lot of Greek names.
We're gonna
up
say
in
a lot of
here,
Greek
y'all.
names wrong.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
He was fucking amazing. I think he had
Yeah.
the best performance in the movie.
Mhm.
Anne Hathaway continues to be a
Oh.
generational talent.
Oh,
Um,
she
John
had to let the
Leguizamo-
kids know.
John Leguizamo, like, I think is one
Right.
of the most slept on actors in
Yes.
history. Everything I've ever seen him in, I'm impressed by him.
Mhm.
I've never seen Tom Holland in something I liked his performance in before. He killed it. He killed it.
He was real good.
I
Real
thought
good.
this was
He
about
was
to be a
good.
backhanded compliment. It was
No,
like,
no,
what,
no, no.
what do you?
I
No,
need
no, no.
to talk
I-
about Robert Pattinson.
He was great. He was such a shitty little
What
guy.
a fucking piece of shit.
You
He was
beggars.
Like the way that like they took shitty suitors and made them even shittier.
Oh my god, yeah.
Incredible.
Everything we've been like, they're all good. Like, come on, y'all. Did you think they weren't going to be? But I
Right.
kind of to your point of like, there's some actors where it's like, yeah, I've just never seen you at all ever, or if I have, I never paid attention to you. That like everybody was in their fucking A game for this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
But something that I did hear, through snippets of like, press tour interviews, stuff like that, is that one of the things kind of imparted to folks is that the reason for many of these actors being cast is that these are roles that they've played before. And I actually very much like this strategy
Cool.
that Nolan used in that. Like, we've been making the joke about like, guys, never go on a road trip with Matt Damon. You'll never get home.
Yeah.
See Interstellar, see everything basically in his filmography that's just like, man tries to get home badly. Like,
White man is trying to get back home.
and Anne Hathaway similarly is like girl boss trying to do queen shit but is held back by circumstances. Tom Holland,
Boy.
young man must rise to the occasion, but is constantly, facing challenge to do so. Like, again, these sort of archetypal things that these are actors who have, been known for doing that work. And then I think it's a genius choice because, again, I think one of the things about the Odyssey is that this is a myth that has been adapted and done and done and done and done and done. And we know these characters and we kind of know these tropes, even if we don't know it. That like, oh, of course you would pick this person to play this character,
Yeah.
and then still put your own time and effort with them into making it their own Penelope, Telemachus, Agamemnon. Like, of course, that they're very distinct in this film, and nobody feels stock. Everybody feels super in their performance and very lived in, which sells the whole thing.
Here's the other side of that comment.
Yeah.
This movie is a celebrity spot fest and it's distracting.
Isn't every Nolan film though?
Yes. And it's fucking stupid.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just this one, but you're absolutely right. There
Yes,
are
yes,
times
yes,
where
yes,
it's
yes.
just a little bit like, okay.
And when
All
your
right.
when your movie cold opens with Wait, is that Travis Scott?
I said Travis Scott.
You've made a mistake. You've jumped a couple sharks.
Sometimes it does like you're locked into the fiction, and then all of a sudden you go, "Oh, hey, Charlize Theron's in this. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool."
and it's super and it's distracting. I've had the take of, oh, it was helpful for me because I recognize this person, so I didn't have to learn their character name. And I'm like,
Sure.
if you're sitting there and watching a piece and you feel like you have to learn the characters' names to enjoy it, you're not watching movies right. You're just not.
I don't know if when was the last time that Christopher Nolan had a movie that was like mostly character actors instead of like big time stars. Memento, maybe.
Memento, maybe.
That's still Ethan Hawke, but like
I was gonna say the
cold
beginning of
argument for
his
Batman
career.
1. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's either the beginning of his career or
Yeah.
like something in the Dark Knight. Honestly,
Yeah.
Yeah. Batman Begins maybe the most recent with that, because otherwise, it was wild. I was watching the highest form of cultural critique, Brittany Broski's Royal Court. When
Brittany Broski.
when Matt Damon and Anne Hathaway both mentioned they'd been
Yes.
in like 3 different Christopher Nolan movies, and I was like, "What the fuck was Matt Damon in 3?
Yeah.
Two for sure." And then I was like, yeah,
Oppenheimer.
Yep.
Spot Fest.
Celebrity spot.
No, and I had the
fest.
same thing with Anne Hathaway, and it was just like, oh my god, duh, Catwoman. Like, you forget that that's her in the
Mhm.
same context as like any of her other appearances. Like, no,
'Cause
that's
it's,
still Anne Hathaway.
Because she shouldn't have been cast for that role anyway.
I guess that's easier than like trying to get a general audience to remember Pysander and.
But again, if you're
Sign
sitting
on,
there
Elaitis.
watching a movie and you're like, I have to learn everybody's name and not enjoy the story and enjoy the characters, you're fucking not watching movies right. Relax. You're
Yeah.
not going to get quizzed at the end. You
Yeah.
might get quizzed at the end.
I
I
will
wasn't
also
supposed to?
say there seem to be a lot of takes where I've been seeing people confused about like the action that's occurring or like certain things about characters or I think it was a tweet or a thread where somebody was just like, oh, I didn't realize that Helen and Clytemnestra were twins, or at the very least they said are sisters. And I'm like, brother, they tell you in the film.
They tell you in the
say,
movie.
Explicitly.
like very clearly they are sisters. That I'm like,
Like,
what are y'all doing when you watch
people-
movies?
People
are you
don't
listening?
pay attention. No, people aren't. People aren't. Let me tell you another scene. And I want to see if you both caught this.
Mhm.
So Zendaya is Athena, which
Yes.
we'll get into later. I have issues with how that whole situation goes.
Sure.
But in the penultimate flashback
Yeah.
to Troy, when they do a admittingly kind of cool thing, we have
Yeah.
established, okay, Zendaya is Athena.
Yeah.
Is Athena. So they do a cool thing where Zendaya is being characterized as Athena being dragged up to the stairs of her own temple
Yeah.
and being decapitated. But instead, it's actually the statue of Athena getting decapitated, right?
Mhm.
Tell me how I've talked to 6 different people who are like, oh, we felt bad because that one priestess died. And I'm like, were you people watching the same movie I was watching? It's like, that's not what happened.
So there's 2 takes that I
Yeah.
accept as truth for that moment because it is a
Sure.
little ambiguous, but at the same time, it's also very specific.
Yeah.
There is in the greater theme of this movie, which if we have time to come back to it, sure. But the idea of that Zeus's law that permeates, that I'm like, this
Yeah, we're
wasn't
coming back to that.
This wasn't Homeric, but I'll allow it for this version because you're at least being consistent about it. So sure. But the idea that's
Mhm.
like, treat others the way that you would want to be treated because you never know who's going to be a god in disguise.
Yes.
Which is true of Greek mythology. They love to just show up as a fucking swan or whatever. You never know.
And then fuck your girl.
Zeus, I'm looking at you.
And sometimes Zeus fucks that swan.
No, sometimes Zeus
No,
is
he
that
is the
swan,
swan.
and he
God,
fucks a lady.
Can you tell which one of us wasn't the mythology kid? Back
Helen
in
of
the day?
Troy, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, so that's the premise. Like that is the motif. That is the
Mhm.
theme. The gold nugget of wisdom running through this movie.
Mhm.
So, on the one hand, there is either the take of, Odysseus is so haunted by this act of destruction of we're desecrating their temple to Athena. Like they worship the same gods that we do, and we are out here desecrating the
Mhm.
same place of worship. And now he is haunted by that idea. Like that as it is a statue, it is just the fact that they've desecrated the temple, but they worship the same gods and pray to the same deities, and he can't cope with that psychologically.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there is also there was a lot of rape and pillaging and other things
Oh,
that were
absolutely.
suggested but not
Yeah.
shown So that's where this interpretation that I'm more interested in is that, oh, here's the closest we get to seeing that on screen, is that this is a priestess, but in her, Odysseus sees Athena. That idea that, like, in the right people, I see your godliness, I see your goodness, and that is why he sees the embodied version of, you know, maybe it is Athena, maybe it's just a ghost of this young woman as a priestess, but like that's the other piece of it. Because we play with this concept a lot in this version of the story of the gods could be anybody.
Yeah.
And who is choosing to acknowledge that or not kind of dictates how does this story end for you, friendo? You know?
I like your interpretation that you just said. That is not what these people were telling
But
me.
exactly. But I know there's people who are just completely missing forest for the
Just
trees or have
completely
no
missed
clue what that like quick sequence of cuts actually was trying to signify.
Mhm.
Like, there's two takes I'm willing to accept, but I unfortunately do see a lot where people are like, no, I think you just missed the boat, my friend.
You just missed it, bud.
Yeah, and it's
They
not
left
hard
you
to
on the
understand.
beach.
I don't think it's hard
Not
to
at
grasp.
all. It's so easy.
I don't want to
It's
sound
so
elitist, but I
easy.
don't feel like this is a hard story to tap into.
I think
why we've been telling it for 3,000 years.
and I think the issue there is movie's too fucking long. It's fucking marathon. Just to keep it Greek as fuck, it's a goddamn marathon.
Yeah.
That is the scene I'm talking about is like what 2.5 hours deep.
Yeah,
I'm
we're in the
exhausted.
last 40
It's fucking
minutes at that point.
I think the last 40 minutes are just Odysseus returning home and taking on the suitors. Because
That's what I mean.
Is long
this
as
is a
fuck.
flashback
Fuck
when he's
shaky
talking with
cam.
Penelope.
No, I'm interrupting you. Fuck shaky cam.
Yeah.
I'll die on this hill proudly.
No, you're
Whichever one
correct.
of you motherfuckers decided, oh, Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. We gotta do it. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck
Throwback.
your mama. Fuck all your people. Go die in the ditch. Stop doing fight scenes in shaky cam because your actors can't fucking go to the gym for 2 months and get in shape to do good fight choreography. Eat dicks. I can't see.
Their Steadicam
Rant over.
broke on the last day of shooting, and Chris just went, fuck. All right, make it like Batman Begins. Fuck it.
It's so bad. I thought we put that shit to bed.
Like,
I thought we
get
stopped
they're doing
doing it.
everything practically, but yeah, at the same time, can't you get your guy a gimbal at the
That's what
very
I'm saying.
least?
Put the phone on
Put
a
the-
gimbal. It'll be fine.
Put the camera on the top of a chicken or some shit and just run around the room.
We're getting real Greek with it. Use some chickens for some nonsense. Let's go.
What is a man? A man can hold a camera
Behold a
steady.
man. It's just a naked chicken with a GoPro strapped to its head.
That probably would have been steadier than the last scene.
It would have.
No.
We're the new auteurs. We've got the new cinematography technique.
Yes. I will say though, like if Geneva were here, I'm sure she would have so much more to say about the technical work because it's Christopher Nolan. Everything's practical. Everything's filmed on location. It's fucking insane.
They found
I
a
can't-
real life Cyclops just hanging out on an
Right,
island
you
and
know.
stabbed him in the
But-
eye.
I love the dolphin shot on the boat. Like as much as
Ooh,
I
yeah.
hate the like unsteady cam in some moments, I love the fact that they were just out floating around in the Mediterranean and then here are just some dolphins that came out of the
They're like,
water.
we want to be in the movie too.
Unprompted, unscripted, like, and that put that in the movie. That's amazing.
Dolphins are like, I better get residuals.
This doesn't look like
Right.
the usual like Mamma Mia fan club that comes sailing this time of year.
Right? Wow, we haven't seen a boat with oars in millennia.
Jeez. Like
No.
so here's a question with
Okay.
adaptation. This is a long ass movie,
Long ass movie.
and there's a lot that could have been included from like
Yes.
the full story.
Yeah.
Was there anything that was missing from it that you think would have enhanced the movie?
Not
Hmm.
for me. I'll jump on first, Kaylee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
do
that
it.
was missing, but there are choices that, again, the movie's good. I have to put all these caveats out there.
Yeah.
There are choices that were done well, but I don't think worked.
Hmm. Such as?
Man, I have I have two that jump to mind immediately. I feel like more will come as we speak.
Okay.
Two that I'm like 100% this didn't work. I don't like that you did that. I have two big ones and one small one, so that's three. I have one that I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this one. I think there's a meta analysis there. And I don't know how I feel about it, but I always comment on it, which I think means I'm neutral on it. Let's do that one first because I don't
Yeah.
want to go into negative. They work
Observation.
really, 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 really hard to make sure that Circe isn't a villain.
I think it's well done, but I want to hear what
I think
you
it's
have to
well
say.
done, but I think it's because I think it's gonna this is gonna compound on some stuff, right?
Mhm.
I think I think Christopher Nolan intentionally made Circe not a villain for two reasons. One, the meta reason is he, like a lot of writer directors of his time, has been very heavily accused, especially in recent times, of being really bad at writing women.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. So it kind of sucks to take one of the, like, let's say three main women of the
Yeah.
story and be like, yeah, she's the objectively wrong one. Let's kick her in the teeth a little bit, you know. So I think some of it is a little bit of that commentary. The other piece, and this is a contrivance of the movie that I found very frustrating the entire time. So this is a version of the Odyssey where the gods may or may not actually exist.
Yeah.
Even though he talks to Athena, who's probably a hallucination just based on her
Right. We don't know
characterization.
definitively if this
Right.
is Athena, but
Even
Poseidon
though,
gets
50.
pissed.
even though maybe kind of,
Yeah.
even
Mm.
though the world is clearly magic, even though we get definitive proof that the afterlife exists because we fucking go there.
Yeah.
And Calypso is a minor god.
And Calypso is a minor god, so you literally talk to one. She's in the movie. She's gorgeous. But this is a version of the Odyssey where the gods probably, but maybe don't exist. And
or
I
at least
think
they're on their way out from giving a fuck about mankind.
yeah. So I think if Calypso, and it's even more frustrating because we made Circe explicitly magic. I think if Calypso is explicitly magic, it
Yeah.
takes away from her big thing is this is the point of the movie where it stops being magical Greek story and it's Christopher Nolan made a third war makes white guy sad movie in a row.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm so glad we just get the repeat of Oppenheimer's point
Right.
in
It's-
another movie.
For the third fucking time, guy. And you're good at telling the story. It's cool, but like, why did we do all this shit just so you can tell that story again? Right. So that would be my take. It's and that was a lot of things. It's number one, the level of magic, and a really, really huge like knock I have of the movie is why are we pretending the gods aren't real?
Yeah.
Kaylie.
I think similarly, like things that I wish were there, some of the more magic-y things. Aelis's bag of winds. SpongeBob fucking includes the bag of winds, and we don't even get that here. I have to at least plug in Ian's biggest gripe, which is the lack of Scylla and Charybdis representation.
They're in there a little bit.
Literally a little bit, and also we do not get like Scylla as an actual monster, just the effect of like the whirlpool isn't Scylla, it's what lies at the base of the whirlpool that's the monster. We don't get that, and Charybdis is a fucking elephant nightmare creepypasta thing. I don't know who came up with that design as opposed to the woman with dogs for waists, but okay, sure. Would have been more fun to see on screen. But
I think so.
but yeah, like similarly, like the points of magic, I think being purposefully held at bay for some amount of points of contention about like this is an Odyssey that is so much more focused on not like just Odysseus the man, but like what is mankind and what is its potential. Like again, it's the war story of man changes warfare forever and feels inherently guilty about it for the rest of his days. But I think to your point about Circe, one of the things that we're seeing more and more over in this version is that Odysseus is trying to save his men. Like, he is inspired, obviously, to do so to get these guys home after fucking Troy, where they've been here for 10 years, killing and dying, and for what? But this is a story that is, you can see he is at odds trying to save them from themselves and or the world around them. Like, Circe's whole point is a proactive, but I don't know that they wouldn't pillage or rape or kill or steal, because that's what they've been trained to do. That's what they have been doing. Yes, they approached with good intentions, but how long until they become that?
Yeah.
Also,
Or-
like 20 armed guys just show up to the house of
Yeah.
a single
Up to your
woman.
house.
Yeah.
Or like, again, even there's a kind of a like, ooh, it feels like it's fated to happen, and I would have liked some clarity directionally of like, is this the gods? Is this them deciding the fate themselves when it comes to Apollo's cattle? Because it's like, oh, the winds aren't favorable for us, and oh, the winds are favorable now that you've decided to barbecue the cow. Like,
because the gods are real, but we keep pretending like they're not.
Because in the text itself, it's a little bit more, you know, if you had held out just a little long, it's implied a little bit more in the language. If you'd held out just a little longer, if you'd had the faith just a little longer, then it would have been. But the movie does make it seem to be more of like, no, the winds aren't going to change until you slaughter the cow. So go on, hurry up and do that and seal your fate.
Yeah.
But I think the whole point of it still stands, though, where it's that like question of like, Odysseus, you want to try to see the good in these dudes, and you can't clever your way out of that. Like, I think that's part of what this version is interested in telling, that I'm down for when it comes to doing war story stuff, which is that like, you might have good intentions here, but some of these jackasses really don't. And you can try to see the good in them, but they've got to save themselves. And if they're not interested in doing that, then so help them.
And again, because we're trying so hard to make Odysseus like war hero white guy who's sad, we do a bad job of making his men assholes, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, they're doing all this wrong shit, and it's like, no, I mean, kinda, but not really, you know?
Because the other thing that, like, it's a little thing that I was like, no, but where was this? Is that Odysseus is not like on a pedestal already. Like, he's on a pedestal for his clever wit. Like, he's a very intelligent character.
Kind of.
Well, he's one of my, like, honestly, we were thinking about this of like Greek characters who are actually good at shit, and it's like, no, Odysseus is so smart. Odysseus
you're
thinks
talking
through
about
things.
written like poem Odysseus, not this version of Odysseus.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
okay.
Odysseus is a character that like knows his shit and knows how to get out of a bind.
Yes, absolutely.
But the point of the Odyssey is that we're getting his journey through his hubris, because we don't get nobody.
Yes,
that was something I was so mad that was left out, is there is no place for him to fall from other than like letting go of his men sort of thing by the end of that you can't save everyone idea. But there's no place in which he is letting his pride get the better of him.
Why
and
is
it makes him
Polyphemus
weirdly
just a
Christ-like,
monster?
and I don't like it.
Why is Polyphemus just a monster?
Right.
It's fucking stupid. Because again, it leans into the whole, because that's like a theme you can lean into, right? The entire Odyssey is Odysseus' men jumping in, breaking Zeus's law, and him coming up to clean after them, right?
Yeah.
That is established by them going into a cave, pulling up, slaughtering a bunch of sheep, eating all this dude's cheese, and then the Cyclops, son of Poseidon, eating all this cheese, and then Cyclops, son of Poseidon, comes in and is like, what the fuck? Right? But if we just make him a fucking cryptid that eats two guys, sees all the ants in his house, and just goes to bed. What?
I feel like the more that you guys have talked about all of this, and with gods and with some of the lack of magic and everything like this, I feel like there's some tonal discord that's happening here.
For sure. Why does this version of Odysseus want to hear the sirens? It's completely out of left. It's completely out of left field.
That is true to the text, but I agree with you for the way that this man has been characterized up till that point. I'm similarly like, and why does this Odysseus still want to hear them?
I interrupted
Like,
you,
but
Gibby.
that
I'm
has
sorry.
been a canon thing where he's like, no, just tie me up, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
that one's a weird one. But what I'm saying is that Christopher Nolan, in a lot of his movies, has an addiction to realism, not in the exact same way
Sure.
as something like, we saw with Tom Hooper with like Cats and Les Mis. But what I'm saying is, one of the main things that Interstellar gets praised for is how scientifically accurate it is.
Mhm.
And I think he keeps a level of realism stuck to his stories to a point at which something that is written to be fantastical and full of magic and gods and everything like that kind of doesn't click with him in a certain way.
Yeah.
So he's made so many adaptations with it so that he can tell his own version of it and be fairly faithful to the text, but not actually be allowed to dive into some of those more fantasy elements. It's why Polyphemus is a monster and not a person, and he doesn't use clever "I'm nobody" to get out. Like the Bag of Winds could not exist in this movie because of who this movie is made by.
But Calypso, or correction, Circe still turns a bunch of guys into a group of pigs.
Which crazy cool effect though.
Oh
my god, I loved it.
I think I don't know what horror is. Because I had a lot of people say, yeah, that was like watching a horror movie. I was like, I was certainly like unnerved. And me personally, I get frustrated talking about that scene because yes, objective W for practical effects. Hell fuck yeah. But I was much more engaged with the performances of everybody, where like everybody was doing this painful, impulsive eating. And the actress, again, phenomenal actress, playing Circe, was doing this like rhythmic dance as they were all going. Like that part was awesome. The guys turning into pigs was like cool, whatever. But I'm like, no, this is what wigs me out. Like everybody's performances.
The suddenly nothing has like drastically changed, but everything feels wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the performances in that scene were as cool as the practical effects were, was way cooler than the practical
effects. No, the performances sell the effects. So like you've got to have a strong, just like, all right, we're committed to this. We're going for this 100%. And that's what sells when the effect comes in.
But I didn't find it scary. I just found it like really unnerving. And that's where I'm like, I don't think I know what horror is.
It's body horror, but it's like and it's so hidden as well. Like we're not seeing any deliberate transformation because we could only do so much with animatronic puppetry kind of rubber pieces. But there's definitely body horror. Unfortunately, I've also just seen too many people on threads who are openly coming out going, wow, that was horny. And I hate that. I hate that so much. Yeah.
The Liberal Artists podcast would like to say no.
Have some
no. Stop.
People have more shame. God damn it.
We know too much about each other.
Right. Fucking be embarrassed by saying some shit.
Go back to fur affinity, you freaks.
People are out here being like, wow, I bet that feels so good. I'm like, no, it doesn't. What do you mean?
It doesn't. What's wrong with you? They're obviously in pain. What are you doing? Is this engagement farming? Is this bait? Is that what we're doing
here?
That's
all I can hope for, and even that is a
Circe out here cranking my hog.
Turns into pig.
Is this what they've meant by cranking hog the whole time?
No.
But no, I didn't like that sentence at all. I didn't like the thought that people found things horny. Like, I know the old statement goes, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yums. I'm not here to kink shame. I'm kink asking why.
I'm kink shaming. Fuck you guys.
Can I switch the energy then and go to something that is absolutely worth the attention and horny posting?
Sure.
I'm cautious.
Agamemnon aura farming.
That shit was stupid. Why is he Darth Vader? Why is he? Moment 2
stands in a doorway for so much longer while
Dude,
his men are rushing past him to
again,
fight.
I said there were several scenes where I belly laughed and nobody else in the theater laughed.
Yes.
One of those was 2 of them were by Agamemnon. Like 3 of them were like 4 or 5 were by every scene
Anytime
with
this
Agamemnon.
man appears
Every
on screen,
time this dude, I'm like, what are we doing? Fucking, we're in this tense action scene. People are dying. We're shooting sniping dudes. We're forcing open the gates of Troy. We do that really cool scene where we throw the fire over the wall and then the fire bursts and we see how many Greek soldiers are waiting out. Fucking beautiful. We open the gates at Darth Vader fucking eye posing. Still standing at attention as everybody runs and I'm like, what are you doing here? You didn't load in properly. The cutscene didn't work. I don't have enough RAM. What happened?
This man's just standing here aura farming.
He's not even
while
aura
his men are
farming.
getting shot.
His armor is too heavy and he can't move. He's over encumbered in Dark Souls. My man is fat rolling. He can't move.
You cannot fast travel when you're over the weight limit.
No. He looked so stupid.
No,
He looked so dumb.
There's a lot with Agamemnon that I'm like, I really like this choice, and that I'm simultaneously laughing at it at the same time.
I found him comical. He was
Yeah.
supposed to be scary and intimidating. I found him a fucking doofus.
Also, in a cast that's like really good, having Benny Safdie be like Agamemnon is
that who that was?
Strange. Yeah.
I couldn't tell because they tried so hard to never show his face. Why? Why do we do that?
This isn't his book, technically. And like I think to your point earlier about things that felt like they got left out of the Odyssey, I feel like part of that was due to the like, hey, because we're trying to make it the war story, we're going to talk about the things that already happened in the Iliad. And so it's that like, yeah, like Agamemnon is in that other text about the Peloponnesian War and shit, but sure, yeah, let's indulge in like what happens at Troy so that way the context of this movie makes sense. But I think that's part of it, is that like this is the man for whom Odysseus was a general under, so we need that context, but then just enough for us to recognize him when he gives the warning in the underworld.
Oh my god!
About don't be a dick to your wife.
I'll have something to say about what you just said. Moment 5 when Bodio was laughing in the theater by himself. In the underworld again, beautiful scene. I think that's the prettiest scene in the whole movie when they're in the underworld and everything's black and they have like the lava come through and it's like.
Can't wait for Iceland's tourism to skyrocket now.
My parents are going in September.
That makes sense. My buddy was actually just there. But when Ethan Page, I believe, is the actor who's Elliot Page. Sorry, Mr. Page.
No, and I forget his character's name now because I keep thinking of Pleiades.
Sinon?
But that's not.
Not him.
Sinon.
Yeah.
Because Pleiades is a different character who's not even in this version. Anyways.
Kill me. When Sinon moves out of the way and fucking Darth Memnon is eye posing and is brought in on a skateboard. Like it's so clear that he's not walking. He's on wheels.
My man's on a hoverboard in the underworld.
I died. And I couldn't take the rest of the scene seriously.
No. Again, after having just done the play about Clytemnestra and Agamemnon, I'm so angry that she doesn't kill him with the axe. Like the entire thing that like builds that fucking myth, 1. But then 2, the places I kept laughing in this movie were just the repetition of Odysseus and his men see an island, his men get onto an island, find some shit, and then they all run.
And then they explode.
Like a goddamn Pirates of the Caribbean like beach chase. Like
there's Monty Python vibes.
With Monty Python too. No, like them running down the hill from Polyphemus, all I'm hearing is like a Monty Python and the Holy Grail underscore. Like, I'm seeing it shot that way. When they're running from the Lystragonians, like the big giant metal men. That was such a like, and here's the Pirates Beach moment. Like, and they did it again from Circe as well, that I'm just like, God, what is so funny about this? Like, Mr. Nolan, I don't think this was your intention, but there is something about getting these wide shots of all these dudes in clunky armor kind of flailing
It's
about.
a little funny.
That's just so funny.
Fucking
They also
yakety
do
sax
it-
playing.
Yeah, they do it
I
so
was just
many
thinking, it's
times.
like, I need a compilation of all of them with yakety sax underneath it.
Also, a side note, it's very funny that like some Gen Alpha kids thought that like in the trailer Odysseus like saying "Let's go" was like a reference for them, when in reality he was freaking out trying to run out of hell.
Yeah,
Right.
imagine saying "let's go" as in "let us go somewhere else."
Yeah, that's a reference. I did kind of on language. And also to transition, because again, for a movie that is very much about Odysseus, the other whole half of the movie / whole half of the book that's about Penelope and Telemachus.
Wait, before you go there,
Oh,
I do want to say it's back to what we were saying earlier about how much of this movie is about the fall of Troy.
yeah.
I got the energy that was like, man, this guy really wanted to do the Iliad. Like, he really wanted to do the Iliad. And then more meta shit, because that's what people love doing with Christopher Nolan movies. They love watching the movie and then go watching all his interviews and then sitting next to you and be like, he did this because blah, 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 blah. Because his movies
Right.
make assholes feel like they're smart. I
Mm.
like a lot of your movies. But,
Yeah. But they
So
do
many
attract
caveats.
a
He was-
particular.
yeah.
Particular type.
Particular type. He was supposed to do that movie Troy that came out like 20 years ago.
Really? That would have been
Yeah.
pretty neat.
But some weird shit happened with the studio, and they were like, "Hey, sorry, we dicked you over. You get to do Batman now."
Yeah.
That's a pretty good
Compromise.
So a lot
Yeah.
of the stuff, right, worked out for him. But a lot of the stuff he shoved into this movie, he was like, "Yeah, this has been bonking around in my noggin for the last 20 years, and this is my chance
Oh.
to get it out there."
That was the other thing. Funny shot. That's
Mhm.
again, it's like if you just put different background music under some of these scenes, it's like already, it's funny to look at, but it's 10 times funnier selling it as a comedy. The inside shots of the Trojan horse,
Yes.
like, one, loved this.
Very cool.
I do not like the horse as a popcorn bucket. I grew to like the horse as an actual prop in the movie. It took me most of it to get there, but then I was like, you know what? I like the aesthetic of this now. This is good.
If Homer heard that sentence, I think he would have decided not to make this story.
I think he'd be like, "What the fuck is popcorn?"
I did not enjoy the Trojan horse popcorn bucket, Mr. Homer.
There's debate on if the horse is even Homer. It's basically, but very likely, a Roman edition, not even
Yeah.
Homer's.
They do like their horses.
But
A Romer, not a
this
Homer.
shot of all of these dudes inside the horse, where it's just like their beady eyes and like their heads and shoulders, like where it's like you see the 20 of them all together. There's something about that one, like not where they're struggling, and obviously there's like, oh, people are being stabbed and they're having to be quiet and it's tense, where you're getting the close-ups.
That was
but the
hardcore.
one where it's just like all of them stacked on top of each other, I was like, this is like a fucking SpongeBob
It's Scooby-Doo
like
shit.
moment.
It's Scooby-Doo shit.
Scooby-Doo!
It's Scooby and Shaggy
funny.
in the armor in the hallway.
But like with 20 guys, I'm like, I know this is dire and they're making it important, but there is some indescribable thing about this shot that is so funny to me. And I can't figure out what it is.
It was deeply relatable when Odysseus is the first one to get out of the horse and his like legs are asleep. I was just like,
Yes.
me when I get off the couch. I know that feeling, brother.
Me when I've been sitting for too long. Oh no.
But no, it is rad when they're. I didn't get why the Trojans would be like stabbing the horse to see if there's shit in it. But when they stab that one guy in the trap and they cover his mouth, wipe the
And
blood off of
wipe
it.
the blood.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, fucking hell, that's so neat.
The other thing that I will say, and this is more of just, I'm not a historian, so I'm like, I don't know, but like, surely at this point, we had wheels.
Yeah,
Why
that was
did we drag the horse back
the wheels
to
went
Troy?
to the war front.
walls. Yeah.
Well, like, where the fuck are the like rolling logs?
And
Where is
no, they had logs.
anything?
They had logs.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
they
was
did the
just like,
logs.
we're in the sand with this thing for way too long. What is the plan here, guys?
It was interesting. I thought it was interesting to make the horse that small, because usually it is like a big ass horse, like on a cart.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And then like the Greeks, that is a difference now that I'm thinking about it. Usually the Greeks pull up and they're like, here's the horse, our bad, we're leaving now. Whereas in this version, they had to trick everybody and the Trojan and kill Elliot Page. And the Trojans were like, well, I guess this is ours now. Bring it in, lads. We're stabbing the wooden horse, which is a little silly when you think. It was like, why'd they do that?
You gotta make sure it's just
not even
horse.
not even like
suspicious.
the stabbing, not even the stabbing part, but the like seeing the horse abandoned on the beach, take it into the city, stand it up, and then drop it off in the middle of the night outside of the Temple of Athena. It's like, why?
They have to make it like that's one of Cinna's like whole things, is convincingly to be like, no, this was an offering to Athena. And so they get to go, no, but it's our offering to Athena now.
That still makes it silly. That makes it silly, but significantly less silly.
It's still silly.
Yeah,
it absolutely is.
Can I talk about some nerdy shit?
Let's talk about some nerdy shit.
Honestly, I think my favorite part of the entire movie is the fact that we talk so much about the incoming threat of the sea people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's a real life thing. The Bronze Age collapse was caused by a group of coastal raiders that destroyed and leveled city-states of that era, and we have no fucking clue who they were. Like, in general, we don't know like where they came from, who they worshipped, what exactly was going on. All we know is a lot of shit was going wrong at the time, what with earthquakes and bad vibes and bad harvests, and then all of a sudden, fucking pirates out of nowhere. And the reveal over time, after Odysseus learns more and more of this gossip that he's heard all over the place, that they are the sea people. They are the incoming threat. I think that's my favorite part of this entire movie.
I thought it was silly. I like the idea of it, but if Odysseus is like, oh wait, we're the sea people, it's like, yeah, but all the motherfuckers with you died 7 years ago, so you're not the sea people. Maybe some of the other soldiers are, not you. It's not we, it's them. You know, to your point. The idea of that and kind of putting it on his head, that again, white man writes story about how white men get sad during war. That's me being cynical. It's a pretty cool twist. I will give him that.
If we could remove it from the context of his entire library, it would shine more, I think.
I think
absolutely.
So. Yeah.
If again, we weren't still like feeling the effects of Oppenheimer 3 years later and seeing this going, wait a minute.
It's like, you just did this.
I know these beats. This is the same structure.
I think he got so pissed off that nobody got Tenet that he just went, fuck it, I'll do the same movie over and over again.
Is this the fourth time he's done this then? I forgot about Tenet.
I don't know
Tenet,
what fucking
Oppenheimer,
Tenet even
Dunkirk.
Is,
he did Dunkirk, right?
He did Dunkirk. And I'll say, Dunkirk is not a movie about a white guy saying war is bad. It's a white guy saying, oh, fuck, I fucked up war. Oh, we gotta go home. We gotta go home. Let's try again. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Hey, Harry Styles is here. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Get the fisherman.
Yeah. No, it's in a similar...
Let's give him another thing. Batman to like spice it up again, you know?
Batman goes to war.
Fuck! We did it again!
Alfred, I have PTSD, Alfred. It turns out war's bad, Alfred.
But no, Penelope and Telemachus. I interrupted you like 5 minutes.
No,
oh, shit.
I think
7
this was
years
the thing
later.
that I struggled with. Yeah. I struggled with when reading this in high school was just the like, God, we spend so much time with them, and then we spend so much time with Odysseus, and oh right, he's home, but then we still have to resolve all of this shit. It would take so fucking long. But for as long as this movie still is, I felt like this was such a good way to like balance that like things are happening in multiple places.
I agree.
And also we're at least doing the best we can to keep everybody familiar with like who these people are and what they're after in all of these varying locations. And also, Jesus Christ, I knew I was gonna love both like Tom Holland and Anne Hathaway in this movie, but oh my lord, they're so good,
so very
especially Anne Hathaway
Goddamn
as
good.
Penelope. I have seen so many people bitching about like her take isn't good and yada yada, and I'm like, look, maybe we get more of that like Bamfy Spartan Greek woman of Penelope in the text, but for what Anne is giving us compared to so many other Penelopes out there, I will worship the ground she walks upon. My God.
Also the idea
it's
that
so good.
Also the idea that she's not a badass just because she doesn't punch motherfuckers in the face. I'm like, I didn't get that at all.
So, sometimes
No.
people are just wrong.
People are just wrong.
Well, it's constantly the idea of, well, why is she just waiting and she's so loyal? Like,
And the other theme of the Odyssey is
Yeah.
loyalty, is like, who is your allegiance to and what does that devotion look like?
Mhm.
And so Penelope's loyalty often feels like it's very passive, but like her monologue where she just gets to go off. Because I'm putting this into the greater context as well, like realizing of like, yeah, I'm thinking about Clytemnestra and Agamemnon having their like tiff when he comes home. And also like before her, like before she was married to Agamemnon, Tyndareus on the throne, I forget fucking where, 'cause it's not, or no, in Sparta. But and then not Agamemnon, Menelaus
Yes.
of Sparta. Like all of these dudes who get their own fucking stories of like doing king shit and whatever. And I'm like, all of these are happening in time with Penelope being the only regent of Ithaca.
What's the line
That
she
it's
says?
that like
I've been sitting on that empty throne for 10 years. It's like damn.
all of them have been fucking about with their, politics and governance and lineage, and she has been holding it down and exactly just kind of keeping quiet and just keeping the order, because if she doesn't, it's all gone.
Exactly.
And it's such thankless work. It is so like unacknowledged despite everything. That it's that like, no, I've not seen this character put into context this way before, with this kind of ferocity, while still playing the feminine political role of, how do I stall these bastards for as long as possible until my son comes of age, but also he can't just kill all these dudes because then I'll have to go into exile, and then where am I? Like, it's so well nuanced. And like you see all the pieces there together that when the bomb goes off, it is so good.
It's very
oh
good.
my God.
Very cool.
Oh, when they pull out Sinan's little icon and Robert
yeah, the
Pattinson's,
lots.
the lots. That's good shit.
That's
I
good
was just
shit.
like, how are they gonna do this one? How are they gonna pull this one off? And they did.
It's
real good.
We've mentioned Robert Pattinson as Antonius. What a fucking bastard. But yeah, that scene with him and Odysseus when he's the beggar, that just like, your brother asked me to return this to you. I was like, oh, this is some good, just like sweet, juicy revenge line.
That's
Quotable good shit.
Spicy meatball.
Hell yeah.
Oh God.
Also, on the history note, fun fact, there's no confirmed way in which we're supposed to interpret shooting an arrow through 12 axes. I
What do you
like
mean?
this version of the trial,
Yeah.
but
How else would
for the
you...
longest time as a kid, I was like, how do you shoot an arrow through 12 axe blades?
Oh yeah, I do also remember reading it. It's like, did he pierce the metal of the axes? It's like, and I think I was fortunate enough to have somebody be like, no, stupid.
Yeah, he's just that.
Well, I think-
He's that bulk.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
think
go watch him
technically-
kill 12 guys by himself. And I'm like, okay.
technically there's supposed to be the like, hey, in Bronze Age we casted like to cast and produce weapons. We would have a ring at the end of them for them to hang in during production.
Yeah.
And so it was theoretically like the ring, the hole at the bottom of the axes that one was shooting an arrow through.
But this looked cooler.
But yeah, this was cooler. And also I love Telemachus's journey of like, I'm going to start to become my own person and then tag up with my dad and go, oh my God, you're my dad. And then
You're my
kick ass
dad.
together.
That was a
Boogie,
beautiful
woogie,
scene.
woogie.
I actually that was a beautiful
dad.
scene. Like him recognizing. I'm glad they got that right. Him recognizing Odysseus. That was beautiful. I don't like that they didn't let Telemachus be cool in the end. Odysseus is downstairs getting arrows in the back, killing like 16 dudes, and Telemachus can't handle this one jobber.
We can't all be war heroes.
The whole first minutes of the movie was Mentor teaching him to be cool.
Yeah.
Mentor and John Leguizamo teaching him to be cool. So I'm like, oh, clearly we're gonna do that. He's gonna 86 this guy immediately by like putting his guard down and then jump downstairs and kick ass with his dad. But they were like, no, he's gonna futz around with this loser for 20 minutes. That guy's gonna basically do his job. Odysseus is gonna kill like 6 dudes, and everybody else is just gonna give up. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Weirdly, like every version of like a filmed version of the Odyssey, Telemachus just ends up as a jobber every time, and
Which
I'm
is
just like,
lame. Let him be cool.
What's happening
Right.
here?
Let him be cool.
I do like the advice seeking that he does actually get. Like we get some of that from Menelaus
I like
and
those
from
scenes.
Helen.
I like those scenes a lot.
I do really love those, and also everybody who's been bitching about Lupita Nyong'o, go fuck
Go
yourself.
eat his dick.
Fuck yourself.
God,
She's
Every-
gorgeous and she did so well.
You know what pisses me off the most? Every time one of these neat motherfuckers starts talking shit on Twitter, they say, ugh, this is what Helen should have looked like. And they put some AI slop of some random blonde white
Right.
lady. And I'm just like, I don't think you know where Greece is.
I don't think you know what
you-
Greek people look like. And bitch, she wasn't real.
Yeah, it's a fantasy. It is like
Ugh.
Greek mythology.
Right.
Like, did you think that the horse is just gonna wind up somewhere in a fucking museum somewhere?
right?
Also, like, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But if you don't recognize the fact that Lupita Nyong'o is one of the most beautiful women living on Earth today, and frankly, for all of time,
Kick rock.
check your fucking eyes, because you have probably been through a different Greek tragedy.
When she did
somebody
the head,
stabbed them out.
when she did the head turn and she had the scars on her face, I was
Yeah.
like, yo,
Well,
that's tight.
I was mildly, confused of just the like, why are we making Helen and Clytemnestra twins? Because that's not the case per se.
So you're gonna have the same actor.
I'll take Lupita getting to play both of them because one, Helen absolutely is this beautiful goddess-like guilt-driven character, and I love that they continue the subtle note in her dialogue of that, like, back in the beginning of the flashback sort of thing, Penelope and Odysseus. Penelope mentions that it's, she was kidnapped by Paris, by the Trojans, like, or no, she ran away.
She ran away.
Like, Odysseus
And
makes it look like, oh, she was kidnapped, and Penelope's like, I don't know, she might have just run away from that fucking man. That when she is back by Menelaus's side, you can see all of that in her
The
work
hatred and
of
the
just
venom.
the like,
Yeah.
I tried to get away from this man and I could not.
Yeah. I did like that.
I
Go ahead.
love that performance. And then her as Clytemnestra, Iphigenia's sacrifice. And I know it's Iliad. It's not even in the Odyssey.
No.
But the fact that we get the shot of fucking Agamemnon with her over his shoulder, and then we are cut back to Clytemnestra, like, dagger to his throat. I'm like, yes!
Get his ass!
Ah!
Let's
No.
go, girls.
They were very clear, and I think this is why it's kind of hard to do the Iliad in modern day. Like even the movie
Yeah.
Troy, that's like a 20-year-old movie now. But even they kind of
Mhm.
like give up the ghost where you're mostly following Perseus, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
and it's like, hey, the Greeks are kind of objectively the villains in the Trojan War.
Yeah.
And I believe when Odysseus and Penelope are talking about it, Penelope's like, y'all are going to go get his wife. Why doesn't he go get her? And he's like, no,
Right.
it's about trade routes. Agamemnon wants to control trade. This
Mhm.
is an excuse. Right. Which I'm like, that's neat. And I'm glad that we're acknowledging that. It also makes me kind of bummed. It's like, because I kind of want Chris Nolan to do the Iliad because I think that'd be cool. I mostly just want to see a movie interpretation of Diomedes because he's my favorite.
Weirdly,
I only want Chris Nolan's Iliad if we make, Achilles gay as fuck.
Yes.
But we're not going to,
Yes.
so what's the point?
Yes, we
the
will.
Twitter boys aren't going to like that very
Good.
much.
Exactly.
Good.
Make them angry.
If
You
Chris
know-
Nolan isn't doing Song of Achilles, then I don't
If
want
I don't
it.
see Achilles hanging dong by the end of the year, get the fuck out of my office.
Weirdly, I feel like you have to do the Odyssey first because people know it so well, and I don't think
Sure.
people
People know of it.
generally are as familiar with the Iliad outside
fair.
of like Brad Pitt's Troy.
That's fair. That's
Mhm.
completely fair.
And I don't think people mind having like the story that takes place further in the future come out first. I mean, look at something like Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
It's actually before Red
It's
Dead
prequel.
Redemption 1. Whoopsie.
Yeah.
Whoa!
It's a good ass game.
Crazy.
Yeah. I think it's you get people hyped off of like all of the Odyssey stuff, and I think people are really fucking
Yeah.
hyped about
Yep.
Odyssey stuff. That I feel like now, if you had the desire to, you could ride that wave and create the Iliad.
Yeah, just don't make it 3 fucking hours long.
I hate
no
to
promises.
tell you. Do you know who we're working with here, my friend?
Unfortunately.
I think if Christopher Nolan had to make a crispy movie, he would burn to a crisp.
Good. He can die
Mans
for my
can
entertainment.
pad a runtime. That is for sure.
Let's do final thoughts, man.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I had a great time with this movie. This is a bad movie to watch when you have a pet who's just passed away because,
Aw.
Argos. Oh, buddy.
I'm sorry.
I forgot. I mean, it was one of those where it's like, we knew it was coming. We knew it was happening.
Yeah.
But when I was just down visiting family, Ian and I were like, we should go see this movie before we go, see your family because call me Cassandra. I had a premonition that something bad was going to happen before we got there. And that came true. And we're watching the movie going, oh my God, there's like, to your point earlier, they're so mean to the dogs. And then poor fucking Argos,
Yeah.
and it's such a beautiful story beat and it's so well done here, but it's still, spoilers, the dog dies. You've had
Yeah.
3,000 years. This is one of those. Put it on the website. Does the dog die?
Yes.
Yes.
But he gets to see his master one last time.
Exactly. But he gets to see it one last time.
Oh,
But no, I had a fun time with this. For as much as I would love a little bit more magic, I really like the way in which we're making it more human
sure.
instead. And my hot take that I'm stealing from Ian is that the reason we only get a little bit of the lotus eating, like we don't have a full lotus eaters moment, is that Percy Jackson did it best with the casino and Chris Nolan didn't want to try to compete with that because how do you top that?
Sure. We'll go with that one. Gibby.
As I breathe in deeply, because this is a very serious thought after my most
Ooh.
recent cinematic experiences.
Okay.
Bring back intermissions.
Yes.
God damn it.
Here, here.
Why can't we have an intermission in a 3-hour-long movie? Let us piss, Christopher Nolan.
Please let me piss.
Let me pee.
At the Hades Town Pro Shot, you know what they do? They put up a text block that says end of Act 1, and I think, okay, time to go stretch my legs. No.
Oh.
No. You
Oh.
get 30
Not even
seconds.
for the musical?
30
What?
seconds
Crazy.
of audience shots, and then it goes Act 2 on screen 30 seconds later, and
That's
you see
shitty.
the musicians coming out of the wings, and I'm like, no! No! Let me pass.
The Brutalist a few years ago had a 15-minute intermission.
You heard it here first,
fuck?
folks. Bo says the Brutalist is better than the
No, I
Odyssey.
didn't. Fuck you. That is not on the record.
No,
I'll
we
kill
we don't
you.
let Adrian Brody get this win on a technicality. Fuck
I'll
that.
kill you where you stand.
It's two crispy movies back to back when you have an intermission.
Boo. Boo hiss.
Goodness.
I think I'll say this, to go back off the issue of how fucking long the movie is. A lot of the conversations I've had, people have been like, I don't want to say this should have been 2 movies. I'm like, no, you should say this should have been 2 movies. It's too goddamn long.
It's 2 movies if you put an intermission in there.
Put an intermission in there and let us pee.
2
No, but
VHS tapes.
I'll quote a friend. I went and saw this with two friends, and we walk out of the theater. We're all like in the same kind of headspace about it, where it's like, this was good, but I don't have a lot to say about it. And
Yeah.
one of my friends goes, "That was great. I'm glad I watched it that way. I'm glad I enjoyed it. I never have to watch that movie again."
Yeah.
I
And
also
that-
need to bring up the fact that you watched it at like 9 p.m. or
I
later
watched
on
it.
a Sunday.
I watched it at 10 p.m. on a Sunday. We got it at 2 in the morning.
Oof.
It was fine. But
Crazy
Oof.
work.
but no, it was fun. I'll say this in the preamble, or the post-amble, whatever it's called. But
Istanbul.
Istanbul. But yeah, man. Again, I said this at top. This is a good movie. Do I think it's the best movie of the year? No, I still think that's Bone Temple, and nobody watched Bone Temple. I'm mad at all you for not watching Bone Temple.
I'm going to go back and watch all the 28s.
It's so good.
God.
But this movie it's mid parentheses affectionate.
Mm.
Where it's like-
Available to a general audience.
Yeah, 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Pretty solid. I don't need to see it again.
Yeah.
Score is also great. Shout out to Ludwig, who literally built instruments that we have not heard for thousands of years.
It's cool.
Every time
Like,
they string that bow. Goddamn.
That was
Listen, I may or may not be on the epic fandom
cool.
headcanon conspiracy that
Sure.
note plunking is also the Odysseus motif of "I'm just a man."
Okay,
How do you know somebody's a
Rules.
fan of Epic the Musical? Don't worry, they'll tell you.
they'll let you know.
Exactly.
And we're gonna
Catch us reviewing
okay.
that when that movie comes out in 2 years.
and we're gonna let you know that we're really thankful for you listening to us talk about this movie, for listening to the podcast. Please follow us on our socials, give us 5 stars, call to action, call to action, call to action. Join us next time when we join the Lotus Eaters.
Does that mean we're going to be on like an extended 12-year trip,
Hell yeah.
20-year trip even?
We're living on that beach.
With Charlize Theron. I'm already there, man.
Charlize Theron.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sign me up.
Toes in the sand already.
Peace.
The Liberal Artists Podcast premieres every other Thursday on your favorite podcasting platform. The show is hosted by Bodio, Kaylie Horowitz, and Andy Gibson. You can find the show at Liberal Artists Pod on Instagram and
TikTok.
thanks to White Hot for performing the theme song Reflect, which can be found on freebeats.io. Now, I'm off to go exploring, and maybe, just maybe, I'll find a sheep that I can call my own. Good day.
Fuck Ryan Reynolds. Put that in the afterword. Fuck Ryan Reynolds.
No context. I'm going to remove everything that like preceded this.
Denim pool is a great look, though. I'm not
Fuck
gonna
off!
lie.
Stop giving context.
Okay, fine.
We're leaving this devoid of context so that after talking about the Odyssey for an hour, Bo's going to say, fuck this actor that wasn't actually part of this production.
The one actor in the world who wasn't in this movie.
Okay.